Nusrat Jahan Rafi was doused with kerosene and set on fire at her school in Bangladesh. Less than 2 weeks earlier, she had filed a sexual harassment complaint against her headmaster. Her courage in speaking out against sexual assault, her death 5 days after being set alight, and everything that happened in between has gripped Bangladesh and brought attention to the vulnerability of sexual harassment victims in this conservative South Asian country. Nusrat, who was 19, was from a small town 100 miles south of Dhaka. She was studying at a madrasa or Islamic school on the 27th of March. She said that the headmaster called her into his office and repeatedly touched her in an inappropriate manner. Before things could go any further, she ran out. And it goes on a little bit later. It says, at the local police station, she gave a statement. She should have been provided with a safe environment to recall her traumatic experiences. Instead, she was filmed by the officer in charge on his phone, and as she described the ordeal. So the officer was filming her. In the video, Nusrat is visibly distressed and tries to hide her face with her hands. The policeman is heard calling the complaint no big deal and telling her to move her hands from her face. That video was later leaked to the media. So this scumbag guy made sure to get her face on camera and then immediately sent it to the media. Then after she went to the police, they arrested the headmaster. Then things got worse for Nusrat. A group of people gathered in the streets demanding his release. The protests had been arranged by 2 male students, and local politicians were allegedly in attendance. People began to blame the woman. Her family say that she started to worry about her safety. Then she went back to school, regardless of this, fearing for her safety. She still went to school because she wanted to finish her final exams. According to a statement given by Nusrat, a fellow female student took her to the roof of the school, saying one of her friends was being beaten up. When Nusrat reached the rooftop, 4 or 5 people wearing burqas surrounded her and allegedly pressured her to withdraw the case against the headmaster. When she refused, they set her on fire. And it goes on from there. In the ambulance, fearing that she might not survive, she recorded a statement on her brother's mobile phone. She said, the teacher touched me. I will fight this crime till my last breath. And then eventually she dies. Okay. So the first thing that jumps out at you about this story is the incredible courage of this young woman. I mean, she obviously knew the risks involved in reporting the conduct of her alleged abuser. When you think about how hesitant, we can be even in this country to report inappropriate conduct by people who are in authority over us, not just sexual misconduct, but any kind of misconduct. You think about how hesitant we can be because of the consequences we might face. Well, the risks that she faced were 100 times greater than anything we face, and yet she did it anyway. So that is extremely heroic. And then even as she was dying, after being set on fire, she still was standing her ground and demanding justice. I mean, you just don't encounter this kind of courage every day. The second thing is we have to realize that in fundamentalist Islamic countries, this is what women face. They're not only required to walk around in bags, essentially, covered from head to toe, but if they're raped or abused, they can be punished for it. They can be set on fire or stoned to death or attacked in some other equally gruesome way. And this is why it's so dangerous, I think, to engage in the sort of cultural relativism where we say, oh, well, all cultures are equal. We can't judge, everything it's all equal. This is why it's dangerous to condemn people who celebrate Western culture as objectively superior to other cultures, which it is. I mean, our Western culture is superior to the culture that this woman lived in. It's dangerous because when you do that, when you do this relativistic thing, when you insist that even this culture where this happened is equal to our own, you are denying or downplaying or dismissing the horrific treatment suffered by women and homosexuals and many other groups in these countries. What you're saying is, yeah, it's not cool, but, it's not so bad. I mean, it's not so bad that we should make any statements about the overall culture. But we should. We should. There is something deeply disordered about a culture where women are treated like this, where a woman is not even allowed to show her face in public for fear of being killed. I mean, there's something deeply wrong there. The point is, when we say that Western civilization is better than the cultures that essentially enslave women, we are not saying that the individual human beings themselves are better. Okay, it's not what we're saying. We are saying that our system of treating women with respect and dignity is better.